Parliament occupation 3 years ago saw protesters violently clashing with an outnumbered police force. One officer's method of arrest caused controversy. Sergeant Yancey Hawkins was filmed holding his body weight on a 17-year-old Alexander Lawrence's head in what's described as a press-up position. A Herald investigation has uncovered that the potentially deadly and unapproved technique was taught to police cadets for a period of 3 years under the radar. I interviewed lawyer Tuda Clare, who represented 3 protesters, including Alexander Lawrence, in their claims against the police in the High Court.
How did you find out that the press-up manoeuvre was never approved in the first place?
That came as a surprise to us during the discovery process of the case. And it was frankly astonishing that it wasn't just one person who was saying it was never approved. It was the entire chain of command of the police over a period of a year, accepting that no one had ever approved this maneuver. They knew that it wasn't approved, but it was still being taught and trained through the police college for even a year after it was seen at the protest.
Following investigations, police say they have reinstated quality control at the police college by reforming the Training Assurance Quality Board.
Those images of Alex having the press-up manoeuvre on his head, that attracted a lot of attention during the protest, didn't it?
That image was published in every major news organisation in New Zealand. There were even people with placards the next day with pictures of him having a press-up done on his head. And yet, astonishingly, there wasn't a single email or phone call or message in the entire New Zealand police organisation for another 14 months saying we have a problem with this. And that email only came about once we'd actually sued them.
And it's pretty concerning to hear that it's being taught to cadets as well, that it's not just one rogue police officer doing something he shouldn't be, that it was it had filtered down the lines to police training.
The police's chosen forensic expert had stated that this was a fatal maneuver, and in fact, Alex could have been killed even in the period of time that press-up was being done on his head, and yet it was being trained without any understanding or knowledge of exactly how this maneuver should be being done. So it's incredibly concerning, and what also concerns us is that there was no actual use of force report done about this arrest and the press-up on the head, which means that if it wasn't done in the most public forum that it was here, the question is how many other times was this maneuver done? And it's never even been written down or reported.
So obviously Alex, you thought he was really brave for doing what he did and kind of standing up to police. I mean, he's only one boy, right, 17, and he had to do a lot to get over that step and that distrust of police. What do you say about what he's done?
Yeah, I can't say enough about Mr. Lawrence's bravery. He was obviously a youth when this occurred. He was very distrustful of police, given that no one had seemed concerned about it until he had legal representation. But for him to go all the way through a High Court trial was commendable. And the fact is that as a result of what he did, the police have now apparently implemented a new training program and safety program with their maneuvers. So that's an incredible achievement for a young person. I think my biggest concern with this is that even when that image was published in all the major media organisations in New Zealand, there wasn't a single action taken by the police to question why it had happened or ensure that it wouldn't happen again until they were actually sued, at which point it was ceased within, I think, a week. But again, there hasn't really been a clear explanation of how this could even occur in the first place and how we really can be sure that these sort of manoeuvres won't be taught unsupervised again.